All right. All right. The recording started. All right. As always, first, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Hashem
Bahashem,
Rakakadash.
Barash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, of great millstone, taught us truth and rule well. Shalom to the hopefully elect, and shalom to the Akim and Akwath out there listening and learning. This goes out to the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the Native Americans, Latino Americans, and African Americans here and scattered throughout the four corners of the world. This is a branch of Great Millstone, Chicago, coming to you with some more of it. I'm the brother Asha.
This is Brother Yaya.
Brother Shakal.
Yep, and we just, as we love to do, man, we're gonna hop right into it, man. Me and the brothers, in our spiritual sit down, we was just going into how we are truly in warfare, man. Everything that's going on around us, we are in warfare all the time, and the Lord has made us prepared for this battle. He said before He formed thee, He knew us. Get that Jeremiah. We'll start with that Jeremiah right quick. I formed in the belly. Yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 4. Then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
And that's what it is. We prophets of the nation, and to cast down this wicked kingdom that we're currently in. So as as prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shah, we're gonna be in battle constantly.
Yeah, well, if you can get it, Sirach, the second chapter, the first verse. When we come to serve the Lord, hey, we got to prepare ourselves for temptation, man. We got to prepare ourselves for, for this spiritual battle. Because like you were saying, man, we're at war, man. We're at war with Esau spiritually, with the NW, with ourselves, with what Esau pushes. So in order for us to keep on fighting and stay in that fight and not fall, hey, we got to be filled with the Spirit, man. We got to be in tune with these scriptures, and like that. Hey, these battles will have everything we need for us to combat them and not get overtaken.
This book of Sirach 2 and 1, it says, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So we got to understand that, hey, this walk, it's not going to be easy. It's not impossible. It's not going to be a cakewalk, so to speak. We're going to go through shit. We're going to deal with shit. So we got to prepare our mind to, okay, are you ready, for all of this? And say, yeah. If not, then hey, you're not in the right mindset, and it's best for you to leave, man.
Facts.
Trusting Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Trusting the Lord that He will get us through all these battles that come our way, man.
Facts. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble.
Right. How do we set our mind right? Hey, constantly meditating the scriptures, praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, applying these scriptures. That's how we set our mind right, and that's what helps us endure, man. And that's what helps us become more patient. And whenever we're in a time of trouble, we won't haste. We won't make any irrational decisions, but we'll make wise decisions, and we'll be whatever we're battling, whatever comes our way, we'll have the correct solution for it, man. And we won't just do some, just react, but we'll actually think about it. Okay, so I'm being attacked mentally. I'm being attacked, by this demon, whether it's the NW or work or whatever. well, what do the scriptures tell me to do? You know, this is what I want to do now, but no, the scriptures tell me to what? You know, a soft answer turn away wrath, or you know, I know that these are demons messing with me. So, what does the scripture say concerning that? You know, and then stick to that. And when we do that, then we make better decisions. But if we're not in tune with the spirit, if we're not reading, if we're not doing lessons, if we're not meditating, we're not applying, then hey, these demons and these, you know, they're gonna have a fucking ball with us, man. They're gonna, you know, do whatever the fuck they want. So we gotta understand that we're in this battle, and we gotta do everything that's necessary to constantly, you know, stay in the fight and not get overtaken.
I got some.
Yep.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I'll start at 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So we gotta endure hardship as a good soldier of Mashiach, and we gotta go through all these trials, these tribulations, all these afflictions. You know, battling with Satan, battling with women, battling with niggas on a comment board. It's just a constant fight against everything. But this word and this truth has given us ways to combat it and to keep pushing, man.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the Yahweh Shem Shai. He's prepared us for this battle. Like, you know, Elder Brother Shakal went into earlier. He's equipped us for this battle, right? You know what I mean? And he's refining us, you know, as a silversmith, right? You know what I mean? Purifying us. And the only way to get pure is to go through these trials and tribulations and know that Yahweh Shem Shai has got you covered on the back end. I got something right quick. This 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So when we fighting these demons, the Lord has equipped us to be able to bear it and give us an out. You know what I mean? So like you said, that soft answer turns away a wrath. And you know what I mean? Ignore these clowns. Walk it off. You follow what I'm saying? The scripture said wisdom will meet us in every thought. So we, you know, like you said, if we spiritually connected, we'll understand and apply those scriptures, you know, and just let the Lord do what he does. And, you know, that prayer obviously is going to take care of 99.9% of it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's it, because it's a everyday thing, man. It's not just you know, certain times, every day, man. You know, it's shit. If it ain't, you know, demons on the outside or anything on the outside, it's yourself, man. Hey, shit. The brothers say it all the time. We are our own biggest enemy, man. You know, so hey, Paul said it. Oh, wretched man that I am. You know, the things that we want to do, we don't. The things we don't, we do, and you know. So, in order for us to be more in the spirit and offend less, and not let these demons just do whatever they want with us, you know, we got to be in the spirit. We got to be in tune with these scriptures, man. If somebody could get where it says, sanctify the Lord in your hearts, you know, because the more we do that, the less we fall, the less victories these demons have. Because we're gonna fall. We're in this flesh. We're gonna fuck up. We're gonna do shit. But we want to make that the least as possible. We want to show the Lord that we're actually fighting. You know, that's what the Lord wants to see. And how do we do that? It constantly being in the scriptures, constantly filled with the spirit, watching videos, breaking bread, reading, you know, fasting. You know, all of that helps us to stay in the spirit. And when these demons come, we'll be able to know what to do and how to overcome them.
I got it. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 15. But sanctify the Lord Yahweh in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear.
Right, but the point is what? Sanctify, right? How do we sanctify Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai in our mind? By reading, You know, the scriptures say what? Blessed is he that readeth. That's one major thing that helps us do that. Meditating, watching videos, doing videos, because it'll put you in reminder, applying, breaking bread. All of that helps us sanctify Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, and you know, right there it says, you know, to give an answer to every man, but hey, also to give an answer to these demons whenever they're fucking with us. To know how to react. You know, to know the difference, because doing that will have us in the spirit. To know what to do in situations, like it says in Proverbs, like it'll say, answer not a fool according to his folly, but then the next verse says, answer a fool according to his folly. Right? That comes with discernment. That comes with some type with the type of wisdom to be able to, okay, this is to discern the situation. Okay, this is the situation where I answer the fool according to his folly. Okay, you know what? No, this situation is where I don't answer a fool according to his folly. You see, for us to get that discernment, we got to do everything else I just said, and prayer as well. Doing all that will give us that discernment to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, in whatever situation comes before us, man.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that comes by us, like you just said, constantly focusing, renewing our mind. You know, let me grab that. You know, we've got to renew our mind in order for that spirit to continue to dwell with us, right? You know what I mean? So we got to renew our mind daily so we can be prepared for these battles, right? You know, you can't be stagnant. You can't be on what you did yesterday may not apply to today. You know what I mean? So we've got to constantly renew our mind, you know, and ask how about Shema Shai to sup with us, like the brother's saying. You got that? Yeah.
God, you want to start at 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
And that right there is going to bring us in close proximity to him. Like the elder brother just went into Shakal. If we do what we're supposed to do, present our bodies as a sacrifice, the Lord is going to give the increase. He's going to see like we fighting, you know, like you just went into. We're actually, you know, making ourselves a living sacrifice, fighting this good battle, that so the Lord will entreat us with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which we're going to need to fight this battle. You know what I mean? Because without that, you know, we're going to be lost. You know, go ahead.
Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
And that's what the brother was talking about. How do we renew our mind? You know, the scriptures say, we may clean through this word. So like you said, studying to show ourselves approved, reading this word, refreshing our minds. You know what I mean? The things written time before our learning, we're gravitating to what we did, you know, and what's going on and how we're going to proceed. So it's very important that we fine tune ourselves, you know, and that's a part of the process. The sacrifice, the renewing the mind, the studying, you know what I mean? The cleansing of the word, so we can wash away the filth to get us prepared to the next battle.
Yeah, that's killing away that old man. You know, the way you used to react to things, the thoughts that you used to take heed to, and act according to them. Now it's different. Like now, certain thoughts we got to rebuke. You know, now certain things we get certain thoughts we got to discipline. You know, ourselves with. Now certain things how we used to deal with them, we can't deal with them that way. Now we gotta be now we gotta deal with things with integrity. Back then we used to just do whatever the fuck, you know, when we were in the world. Now it's like, no, now we gotta be more patient. Now we gotta make wiser decisions. You know, now we gotta make decisions that are more profitable. You know, things like that. You know, so how do we do that? By constantly meditating in this word, reading. You know, all that gets us in that spirit, and ultimately, praying and trusting Yahweh Bashim Shai, and we'll be better in doing these things, and we'll get more victory over these battles that we have to fight every day. And like I said, we're gonna fall, but what we want to do is fall the least amount of times as possible, like the scriptures say, offend less.
How do we offend less? Like you saying, realizing what we up against, knowing that the weapons that we fighting are not carnal. You know what I mean? So this is how we offend less, by knowing what we up against, what we battling. You know what I mean? Knowing that these things are going to probe us, but we're not battling against flesh and blood. You know what I mean? So this is how we got to be equipped and up to task. You gonna grab that 2 Corinthians? This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, because we need to know what we're up against. You can't fight something if you don't know what you're fighting.
Yeah.
If something come around the corner, you don't know what you're up against. How you gonna be prepared for the battle? You got to know what you're facing, which including yourself, like you just went into earlier. If you're not reading, read more. You follow what I'm saying? If you're not praying, pray more. You've got to, like you just said earlier, you got to, kill off the old man and know what's going on with you. Scripture say, examine thyself. And that's a part of this battle and a part of this warfare. If you're not examining yourself daily to make sure you're on point, something's going to catch you off guard. We're going to fall, but like you said, at least you're sharpening your sword to the best of your ability. You're doing everything you can do.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, pulling down to the pulling down of strongholds. And everything that we're facing is a stronghold. You know what I mean? Like you said, you used to do this all the time. You can't do that no more. That's some of those strongholds that we got to break down. You ain't reading like you're supposed to. You out partying and bullshitting. Those are strongholds you have to overcome. You let your nigga woman get on your nerves. You letting the job get on your nerves. These are strongholds that you up against that you have to contend with. You got, okay, that my boss has been an asshole all week long. How do I fix that? Like you said earlier, soft answer, turn away wrath. Kill him with kindness. Go in your bathroom and pray. This is how you attack this stuff. You can't go carnally at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and really, what that scripture is going into, is the strongholds that Edom has put up, like a Christianity, any type of belief and ways that he has set up. That's his strongholds. But how do we fight that battle as well? It's a spiritual battle by constantly being in the scriptures. How are you going to attack? For example, what do they say? How are you going to attack the virgin birth if you don't know what it's really about, how it really went down? If you're not studying, then you won't have the answers. If somebody comes up and says, "Hey, well, I believe, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ was actually born of an angel." If we're not studying, we're not going to be able to defeat that battle, and we're going to get stopped. So if we want to fight any type of battle, we got to be in tune with the spirit, man. When we're in tune with the spirit, we're going to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it through the spirit.
It says, cast it down, like you was going into earlier, cast it down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Like you was going into, everything, including especially Esau, Edom, is set up against us. But we know also, like Scripture's manifold, Jake laziness is set up against him. That's a stronghold. Self-doubt, self-correction. You know what I mean? Those are part of the strongholds that we got, because the first battle is the mind. If you don't win the battle in yourself, you ain't gonna be able to wage war against anything else. You know what I mean? You don't feel like you're not equipped to handle it, and this is only adds on to the stress of what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? Jake quick to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drink my sorrows away. I'm gonna smoke my sorrows away. I'm gonna do all this other shit." That's a part of the strongholds that Esau's placed on us in captivity. You know what I mean? That Jake has just mentally defeated. You know what I mean? So we've got to, that's the first part of that battle. In order to deal with Esau and his strategies, we got to get our shit together, and that's what goes into what you were saying earlier, by being cleansed and washed of His word, so we can get our minds right to get in the game. You know what I mean? Coach can always see if a nigga's ready to get in the game. He looked down the bench, nigga got his head down, he ain't ready for the game.
Yeah.
He don't want to go out and fight. This nigga ain't, his mind gone.
Yeah, it's not in there. He's gonna eat it alive, man. Yeah, we can't play around with these demons, man. We gotta nip shit in the bud right away, man. We gotta rebuke right away. You
Facts.
know, we gotta fight back right away. You know, how are you gonna fight if you don't have the tools to fight these demons, man? You can't fight them carnally. You're gonna lose.
Right.
You know, if somebody could get uh walk in the spirit, and you should not fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know, us walking in the spirit, man, and constantly doing all these things will have us on point, man. We'll be able to catch demons whenever they pop up. Whenever you try to be, deceitful and try to persuade us otherwise, we're gonna be able to point them out. Like, no, that's a demon right there, and point them out and attack and defend ourselves, man. But that's if we're in the spirit. If not, then hey, shit, you're gonna be oblivious. And here it is. You're entertaining this demon, not even knowing it's a whole demon.
Right.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Yeah, and there you go. As long as we walk in the spirit, it's going to be easier to defeat the flesh. It's going to be easier to defeat these demons that want us to think evil, or have an evil eye towards our brother. Um it's going to be easier, just whatever comes our way, mentally or demons outside. It's going to be easy for us to battle them, and not get overtaken, to acknowledge them and know what to do, man. Yeah, these people in the world, the reason why they're in the situation that they're in, and they're into all this bullshit, is because they don't have the tools to defend themselves, man. They don't have the tools to attack. So a lot of them are literally entertaining things that's gonna destroy them, man. So us having this, hey, we can't take it for granted, man. We gotta use this and apply it, so like that we won't end up like that, man. And we could battle these things, and we could, at the end of the day, show ourselves approved to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Show him that we use the things that he told us to use, so we could battle these spiritual battles that we're going through, man. He
Yeah.
ain't. What is he gonna say? Well done, my good and faithful servant.
That's right.
You know. That was what you say? Colossians
That was Galatians 5,
5 and
16 and 17.
Yeah.
I think there's. Can you skip down to 25? I think it kind of says the same thing.
Galatians 5 and 25. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another.
Oh, there you go. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So let us apply these things. Let us constantly be meditating upon these things. Doing that, hey, that's us walking and living in the spirit. And doing that, hey, we're gonna. Whenever we have a battle, we're gonna have a higher chance to win, man.
Facts. Yeah. And the Wadi Habashim Shai, he gave us the ability to win by trusting and believing in him. Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. What you just said, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So these devils are always walking around. It's devils hopping on people. A devil will hop on a person in front of you, and they'll just start they'll just start cursing you out for no reason. But you got to recognize that that's Satan, that's the devil. So don't even entertain that, man. So it's just a lot of stuff that's going to happen around us that we have to discern through the spirit and know what to do and what not to do, man.
Yeah, and that word for sober is napho, and in the Greek, and it means to be circumspect, to be watching, paying attention, be alert. And that goes back to what you're saying earlier, you call walking in the spirit. If you in your carnal flesh, you're not going to be alert. You're not going to be paying attention. So you got to stay focused. And in order to to be able to defend what's happening to you.
Khan, and hey, Satan is gonna come in any way, shape, or form, man. It could be like the brother Yaya just explained, hopping on other people. It could be hey, hopping on your woman, hopping on your boss. It could be fucking just you're alone, just say demons fucking with you in your head. So if we know that Satan is out here like a roaring lion, then we gotta have our what do you say? We gotta have our dukes up, man. We gotta be able to,
Right.
So whenever I see him coming, we right away, bob and weave,
Right.
and not get hit and defeat that demon according to the scriptures. I believe there's more to that, right?
Verse 9, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
There you go. Hey, resisting him in the faith, believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And knowing that whatever the demon's trying to make you do or react, knowing that that's not the right way, and letting the demon know that's not the right way, and rebuking, man. Sometimes we might not have an answer for a demon, but we have faith, and ultimately that's what stops a demon, man. Let's say we don't know a certain scripture, right? But because we have faith, whatever. Let's say a demon comes with some bullshit, and we know we might not have a scripture to combat it, but we know it's not, within, of what the Lord wants us to do or act. Then simply because we know that that's what the Lord doesn't like, whatever it is the demon is doing or saying or trying to make you do, that demon could flee. Why? Because you're resisting him. You have that faith. Like, no, I may not have a scripture, but I know this is not something the Lord would like. So, hey, I rebuke you in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Facts.
But that faith also comes by what? By what? Being in tune with the Spirit.
Yep.
Praying, fasting.
Yep. So faith comes by hearing the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So you got to be open to receive this stuff.
Yahushai, man, when they asked him why couldn't we cast out these devils, he's like, because of your unbelief.
Right.
And he said, if you had faith as small as a mustard seed, man, you'll be able to do it, man. So, and what did he say? And he asked him, how do we get there? He said, by praying and fasting.
That's right.
So doing all that will have us in the spirit, and will have us to be able to defeat, whatever demon comes our way in whatever shape or form, by the Spirit guiding us and what to do and how to react.
Right.
And the more we're in the Spirit, the better our decision making is going to be. The way we react is going to be, and the less carnal we're gonna get. Like we just read, walk in the Spirit, and you should not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Facts. And then not only to walk in the Spirit, we got to put on that armor. You know what I mean? Let's grab that in Ephesians. We got to put on. It's like any battle, right? The Lord gives you, like you said, tools for the battle, and a part of that is the armor. Ephesians 6:10. You got to put on. You got to put on all the armor to resist what's going on around you.
Yeah.
It's Ephesians 6:10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahweh and in the power of His might." Right? It says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." So you got to, it's like anything else. You go out into combat, you got to have on the protection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be defended. It's simple. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rules of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So without Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're not going to make it. Period. Point blank. Period. He's got. He's controlling everything. Said the deceiver is his. So you
Yeah.
fight, you know what I mean, a battle that he's the only one can get you the victory. So you
Yeah,
can't trust
like we read, a weapon of our warfare is not carnal.
right.
We're battling spiritual wickedness in high places. We're battling, all these demons, man. We're battling, ourselves, all that. So it's all spiritual. And if we're not in tune, with the spirit, we don't have the spiritual tools, spiritual defenses, then hey, we're just sitting ducks out here, man.
Like you're saying, doing these lessons, going to Bible class, reading, fasting, and praying. You know what I mean? Covered ourselves with Yahweh Shema Shah. This is how we contend. This is how we stay in the battle and get the victory. Because he said, it's already finished. We just got to maintain to the end.
That's it.
You got something else?
No.
All right, we get that James 4 and 7 right quick.
This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded.
And that's a part of what you was going into earlier. You know what I mean? We got to be right. You know what I mean? You can't go and you filthy, we know our righteousness are filthy rags, but like you said earlier, we have to offend less. We got to go to Yahweh Shema Shah, offend less, and ask him today, clean us up again and get us ready for the next fight. Because every battle is going to be different. Every day is going to be different. What you did yesterday, that was a test for yesterday. Now you got a test for today, a different test. And it's an open book test because Yahweh Shema Shah got your back. He just want to see, like you said earlier, do we believe and do we trust him?
Yeah.
Are we truly sincere in what we say we are? Because like me, we talk about all the time. The scriptures, how about Shema say, you can't be hot or cold. I mean, you can't be lukewarm. I'd rather you be hot or cold. I'm gonna spew you out. So you can't play with how about Shema Shah. Period. Otherwise, these demons are gonna tear your ass up. Got anything else, beloved?
No, that's it, man. So hey, let's stay in the spirit so we can keep on fighting, man. Whatever comes our way, we can know what to do, when to do it, and offend less.
Facts. All right. Okay. Hope that was edifying. All right. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
double honor to the apostles, elders, great millstone, ruling well. Till next time, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
All right, mighty man, we'll send it to you.